What
mission.
happens when you're out of alignment versus when you're in alignment?
Everything bad happens when you're out of alignment, and everything good happens when you're in alignment.
Right.
To make it simple.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Health Transformers. Today, I am talking with Steve Barton. He's a leadership coach. He's also the author of The Father, the Son, and the Aha Moment. Welcome, Steve.
Hi, Becky, how are you?
Good. So, what is a leadership coach?
Well, a leadership coach basically teaches people or guides people into leading a team, whether it's management team, could be a corporate team, could be a club, could be any kind of group leader is a leadership coach. So that to me is what a leadership coach guides a team of people with a
Okay,
with a mission, with a mission.
with a mission, with a common goal.
Yes.
Okay. So, what led you to coaching?
What led me to coaching was I ran a business for since I was 22 years old
Hmm.
and grew it from a couple $100,000 a year to 2 million a year. So I
Hmm.
had a group of 30 people, part-time and full-time, but half full-time, half part-time. So I had to learn to be a leader, and I
Hmm.
learned by trial and error.
Right.
And so I think that plus when I was 36 years, I had a major awakening, and I thought, how about using all the things I learned from that and incorporating to leadership coaching or coaching in general. So that's
Hmm.
my passion is helping people help themselves and to help others.
Yes. Okay. Can you talk a little bit more about who you help? Do you have an ideal client?
I think my ideal client, by being 69-year-old male, probably 40 to 60-year-old men who are going through changes in their life. A lot of them are corporate leaders, entrepreneurs, single proprietors. They basically need somebody who can guide them when they don't have anyone else to talk to and a
Hmm.
safe place. In corporate America, I think a lot of people don't feel comfortable sharing their vulnerabilities to coworkers because you don't know when that coworker is going to be up against them in the same position
Yeah.
and or for their job. So I think being a coach gives people in that type of position a safe place to share their uh, fears, self-doubts, and so I offer that and help them to see for themselves what's right for them.
I feel like that is the irony of personal development is you have to first identify your vulnerabilities in order to move past them. And so denying them is not helpful.
Yes, exactly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So you help people to just be honest with themselves in terms of where they're at so that they can grow.
Yes, and in order to see where they're at, they get to look at what's going on in your life. You want to know where you're at,
Yeah.
what's going on in your life. That's where you're at.
Yeah.
It's, life
Yeah.
is a mirror of where you're at.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, what sorts of things can clients expect when they work with you?
I think they're going to get an eye-opening experience as
Hmm.
to the way things are.
Hmm.
Not the way they'd like them to be, but maybe a combination of both. That the way they'd like them to be maybe is to get to alignment with themselves as to what they want their life to be and what their behaviors, their thoughts, feelings, and emotions, are they aligned with their outcomes?
Hmm.
Oftentimes there's a misalignment. So with me, I help them to align
Hmm.
with. Mhm.
With their values and things like that,
Yes. Yeah.
principles. Yeah.
Values, principles, and to make sure that you have a team that are aligned with your principles and values and
What
mission.
happens when you're out of alignment versus when you're in alignment?
Everything bad happens when you're out of alignment, and everything good happens when you're in alignment.
Right.
To make it simple.
Right. So
Yep.
what's an example of that?
Oh, when everything you've got this project and everything's going wrong,
Hmm.
you know, are you afraid you're going to miss the
Hmm.
deadline? Are you doubting the yourself and your team? Can they do it?
Hmm.
Is there guilt? Is there shame? Are we bad? So,
Hmm.
and then yes, and the answer is yes. When it all comes tumbling down along the
Yeah.
way, when you
Hmm.
push, everything is push, push, push versus allow, 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 move on, move on, move on. Will there be obstacles? Yes. So the key to alignment is, yeah, there'll always be obstacles, and how quickly will you move through them with
Hmm.
ease, so that they're kind of like, yeah, that was nothing. That's nothing.
Right.
Next, next, because there was always going to be resistance. There's always going to be, uh, but it's really the mindset of the leader to not a problem. Okay,
Hmm.
it's an opportunity for growth. Let's move
Hmm.
on. Move on. Let's go.
Right.
Come on, let's go.
Right.
So kind of a
So,
cheerleader,
yep.
kind of and a leader. So it's a cheerleader. You're encouraging, not discouraging.
Hmm.
You don't get people motivated by telling them all the things they're doing wrong.
Right.
You tell
Right.
them all the things they're doing right and what they can do in the future to continue doing things right. Come on, let's
Right.
go.
Right.
Yeah.
And having it sounds like you're describing also a little bit of the growth mindset. So you learn from mistakes, you grow from mistakes instead of I am a failure because I am not perfect, for example, which is not helpful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Show me someone successful. I'll show you someone who's navigated failure,
Yeah.
who's a champion of failure and doesn't look at it as failure, looks at it as growth
Right.
and looks at it as an opportunity to do more. You've got to learn to appreciate and failure so that you can not be afraid of it, because that fear of failure will hold you back, keep you stuck.
Yep.
So it's life is a risk. Every day
Yep.
you get up, it's a risk. So are you risk avoidant or you risk embracing?
Tolerance. Yeah.
Yeah, or embracing,
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
and then
Yeah. And
having
I,
the and then having the wisdom to not be foolish with risk.
yeah, don't be too risk
Mhm.
taking.
Yeah.
Don't be too risky.
Don't
Yeah.
jump off a skyscraper without a parachute.
Yeah, for example.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That's
There
a
we
good
go.
example.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, I see that. So I see that in health coaching clients. I see that in entrepreneurs in terms of mindset and how important it is. So, and the imposter syndrome can manifest itself in the job, in the business, in the weight loss, in the personal development. um, and so it's so important to tend to how you're looking at the problem and how your core belief is ultimately, am I going to be able to figure this out, can I trust myself, versus I'm not perfect therefore I should stop, or I fear judgment therefore I should stop, and things like that. So it's enormously important. You and I were talking before because Steve is a networking friend of mine. This is the third time I've seen Steve because of different networking opportunities today. Um, but we were talking about the power of the mind and how important it is in terms of even body sensations. I mean, it's just,
Hmm.
I can't overestimate the power of the mind. So how do clients find you if they want to learn more?
I think that my website is the best way to find me. It's www.stevebartoncoaching.com.
Yep.
I'm STALT trained, um, and have been got my first certificate in 2015. So I've got the experience behind me, and
Mm-hmm.
I love helping people help themselves.
Mm-hmm. And
Hmm.
it's not just the coaching experience, you have your own personal experience that you draw from.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think that you have to have. I was thinking of this the other day. If you're 20 years old and you've got a story, you can help a lot of people, but you've got to have the battle wounds. You've got to have the
Yeah.
experience to prove to people that you're coaching, that you've seen some stuff and you've
Yeah.
overcome it. It's about overcoming obstacles, overcoming problems to see them as not so much problems, but as opportunities for solutions,
Yeah.
and be have a solutions mindset, an optimistic mindset, a growth mindset, and
Yeah.
such. So
Absolutely. Yeah, I
yeah.
know for me, I'm more likely, for myself, I'm more likely to listen to someone who's actually been through the problem that I'm looking to solve. And I know a lot of my clients appreciate that I've been through this, problem that I'm offering to help them solve. And you've been through this personal development. Do you want to talk a little bit about your story and what you've overcome?
Well, I think I grew up with two fingers on one hand.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
right from the very beginning,
yeah.
I was different than the other kids, and I was made fun of. I was called names,
Mm-hmm.
and you can imagine. And God love my father. He just said, "Tell them they're ignorant." When I
Mm-hmm.
was about 5 years old, and I remember telling the neighborhood kids, I didn't even know what the word meant, but I
Yeah,
just told them that they were ignorant when they
right,
made fun of. I had
right,
no clue even what it meant.
right,
Just, but
right,
I was told to just say that. I don't
right,
think they know what it meant either, so I don't
right,
know what good it did. But so
right.
what else did I tell 'em? I broke my first leg at 2.5 years old, pillow
Mm-hmm.
fight with my brother. So I was
Mm-hmm.
in a cast for 6 months of my and had to learn how to walk again. And then when I was 12, broke my leg. I mean, excuse me, 9 when I broke my other leg, then broke both my legs at 12. So I was on crutches for half my life. I was overweight. I weighed 150 pounds in junior high.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess I wasn't one of the most popular kids in school, let me put it that
Mm-hmm.
way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to overcome. And
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody has a story, and there's many more things. There's
Mm-hmm.
psychological abuse, sexual abuse, stuff
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that that
Mm-hmm.
you learn to get over, or
Mm-hmm.
it destroys you. And
Yeah,
yep,
yeah,
so I think I will nothing can destroy me now. Um
right.
yep. So
Yeah, you are. Yeah. So once you get through all of that stuff on the other side, what is it like once you get
um
through to the other side?
okay. I created a process called the game of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And 10 is you are an aspect of God. You're the true aspect of yourself. You are
Mm-hmm.
who you are unapologetically. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I will apologize day and night if I do something to someone else. I'll apologize all day long, but I never will apologize for being who I am. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the difference between being unapologetically yourself and not apologizing for um, inconsiderate, unloving, disrespectful behavior. So
Right.
get that out of the way.
Yep.
Uh, so repeat the question again, please, Becky.
So once you go, so from if you can help clients or the audience see
Yep.
they might be struggling from trauma, they might be struggling in self-doubt, they might be
Mhm.
struggling in imposter syndrome. Just help them see, what they're feeling right now. If they choose to move forward and go
Yep.
through all of their bullshit, quite frankly,
Yep. Yep.
onto the other side, what does it feel like to
Um,
live at a
inner
10?
peace. Inner peace.
Yeah.
It's really people often say, I want this, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy this, if only I had that, I could be happy. Well, no, your happiness is a constant. And really what people are wanting is inner peace. But
Mm-hmm.
when you're addicted by trauma to
Mm.
drama, that's a good
Mm.
you're
Yeah.
addicted to drama because of your trauma, it
Yeah.
sounds boring. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that'd be so boring. I'm
Mm-hmm.
so used to putting out fires and keeping my mind busy
Mm-hmm.
and this. And so inner peace sounds boring.
Mm-hmm.
And it isn't. It's really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And because everything opens up and opportunities open up. So inner peace, I call it 10 is content to bliss. That's the
Mm.
main juice. So you most of my life, every day, I'm content.
Right.
Okay. I'm always happy.
Awesome.
Nobody can touch it. untouchable.
Mm,
Can't do it,
right,
can't make this can't make me happy. I'm already happy.
right.
Will it align with my happiness?
Mm,
Yes. If it doesn't, ain't gonna do it.
right.
Whether it's a conversation with somebody,
Yeah,
interacting with somebody, if it aligns with my happiness, I'm in. If it
right,
doesn't, see you. Have a good
right,
day.
right. And you said things before like I love you stay, I love you go, which is it's not about like loving or hating people, but choosing the people in your life mindfully, right?
It's about boundaries. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, you have to love as Marianne Williamson said in one of her lectures, you have to love everybody. You don't have to have lunch with them. Okay?
right. Yeah.
But we are loving beings. Our innate being souls are love. So you have to keep that in alignment. You have to love.
Hmm.
And if you don't, you're going to use your free will and to create misalignment.
Hmm.
And the more misaligned you are with thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and they build up, you're going to have pain. You're going to have physical pain. You're going to have mental pain,
Hmm.
and your mind and body will be misaligned with your energetic being, who
Hmm.
you are. So
Hmm.
that's where the dis-ease comes in, because when we're aligned, we're at ease. When
Hmm.
we're misaligned, we are we are susceptible to dis-ease,
Hmm.
mental and physical.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a true statement. 100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. If there's one thing you could tell a potential client right now, what would it be?
Hire Becky for weight control, A, and hire me for getting aligned with mind, body, soul. Get in line. I tell people, they come to me. I want to, I want my soul to heal my soul. I said, honey, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing will ever be wrong with that. So it's 33% of your problem taken care of. Let's talk
Hmm.
about your mind and body now. Okay?
Hmm.
We can improve those, but we
Yeah.
can't improve your innate being because it is perfect, waiting for you to return to
Right.
to
Right.
alignment. Okay, let's connect the circuits so you can get back to it.
Right. And so you
Yeah.
help people just get back to like their divine self.
Yeah, without
Yeah.
being religious about it.
Sure. Yeah.
You can put it into your religion. You can plug it in. I've got Jewish clients, I've got Muslim clients, I've got Christian clients, I've got atheists.
Yeah.
We all agree on one thing, that we're energetic beings. I
Right.
like to say that we are intuitive, and these words intuitive and intentional, powerful, 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 but they take them as, oh, it's just a word. Well, it is a word, but these are powerful aspects of ourselves.
Hmm.
So we're intuitive, intentional, energetic beings,
Hmm.
have a physical experience here on Earth.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you so your book, The Father, the Son, and the Aha Moment, you want to talk a little bit about that? And then we can talk about another book that you're working on.
Yeah. Uh, During COVID, I took a coaching course with Marianne Williamson. I'd been following her for over 30 years. She goes around the world lecturing on A Course in Miracles, basically common sense spiritual uh, rules. If you do this, this will happen. If you do this, that's what happened. No wonder you're going through this because of this. So
Hmm.
just kind of practical, common sense spirituality. So I took a coaching course with her. Little did I know she was also um, the same company that was sponsoring her out of Washington, D.C. Had was a publishing house called Difference Press, and I applied on Facebook to write a book. So
Nice.
the owner calls me up and said, Steve, you're in a pile on my desk of what to do with you. And I said, welcome to my world.
Right.
So, so yeah. So you said you're doing the Marianne's class. You're only a month into it, and you want to write a book? I said, yeah. And I said, I've done all the homework. It's a 3-month course. I knew I was a student of A Course in Miracles for 30 years, so
Hmm.
I love it. And just do the homework. It was fun. It was like coloring in a coloring
Hmm.
book. And
Mm-hmm.
so um, he said, "What's the name of your book?" I said, "It's called The Game of Ten." And she says, "Nobody's going to buy it." I said, "Okay."
Mm.
I said, "Okay." And I just shut my mouth because I love when people say that stuff to me. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
can't do that. And so,
Mm-hmm.
um, so I said, "Okay." And she, "Don't you want to know why?" I said, "No." She goes, "Well, I'll tell you why. Um, you're not Beyonce." That's it.
Ah,
Because if
yeah,
Beyonce wrote a book called The Game of Ten, it'd be a New York Times bestseller, blah, blah, blah. I
yeah.
said, "Okay, what else you got?" I said, "I'm writing with my 18-year-old son."
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, a parenting book."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Okay, it's a
Right,
parenting book."
right.
And I remember being on a group call with Marianne, 13 of us. There were
Mm-hmm.
there were 20 of us in the group. About 30 used to show up on Wednesday called Incubator Church with Marianne Williamson.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd show up every because to spend an hour with her was priceless to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was the only white boomer in the group with
Mm-hmm.
about 13 other women who are going to change the world. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was it was pretty interesting, and they
Right.
all were great. They all were great with me, and I and I kept my mouth shut most of the time. So,
Know your
why?
audience.
Because I'm smart, because I didn't want. And so uh, she asked me, she goes, "How'd you come up with the name of the book? I love that name. The Father, the Son, the wait, how'd you get that book? How'd you get that name?" She goes, "I've written th lots of books, and the hardest thing in the world is for me is to write a name. I love that name." She
Mm-hmm.
goes, did you just come, did you know, see it somewhere, or did you just download it?" I said, "I downloaded it
Mm-hmm.
with my mind." And that's
Right,
what I teach people to do. Clear your mind so you can download
right,
from the collective consciousness, so you
right.
can just yeah be connected, so you can download. It's all there. It's called, I call it NI, natural intelligence, not AI, artificial
Nice.
intelligence. Use
Right.
artificial, like flowers. You can use artificial flowers when appropriate, and use the real ones when they're
Right.
available. So, yeah.
100%. So I'll include the Amazon link to get that book. And
Okay.
then you're working on another book now,
The next book I'm working with will be out in February.
February.
is is the first book I wanted to do originally before I found
Yep.
out that I wasn't Beyonce.
Right.
And it's called The Game of Ten.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's going to be more of an instructional book. The first one was about using the Game of Ten method tools for parenting.
Mm.
Uh, but this one, and someone said to me once, "I don't have any children. Why would this book help me?" And I say to them, "Do you have an inner child?" They go, "Oh yeah." I go,
Right.
read it to that. That is
Yeah.
that is your parenting. You're parenting that. You're teaching it to let go, forgive. You're
Mm.
teaching it to heal, and
Mm.
you're guiding it to be the leader of
Right.
it to heal.
Right.
And you heal by forgiving people who hurt you, people,
Right.
places, and situations that hurt you. And
Right.
it's time to let them go and to heal, to move on. And it doesn't mean it didn't happen. It just means it doesn't control your life anymore.
Right. 100%.
Yeah.
And your son helped you write the book, right?
He
Yeah.
did, and he was 18 years old, and we both were diagnosed with ADHD at the same time. And
Yeah.
he was, yeah. So if you can imagine,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that was a very good challenge for parenting, to have
Sure.
him struggle with meeting deadlines,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
me not to be uh, uh, go crazy with, I've got three other people on
Right.
my uh, back to get things in on time. And so
Mm-hmm.
eventually, I actually wrote him out of the book, so he
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to have anything. He said, "That's okay. I can't have
Mm-hmm.
it in." I said, "That's okay. I
Mm-hmm.
wrote you out of the book,
Mm-hmm.
and put the stuff in. And I've got two copies, one with you in it and one with you not in it. So
Mm-hmm.
we'd love to have your content in it to begin editing." So this was most of it was getting to the point where we got our, as I call it, a shitty draft in, but we
Mm-hmm.
had to get it so it could be edited
Sure.
professionally and by us. So that was a good lesson in how
Yeah.
to circumnavigate a problem, which he wasn't getting his stuff in. So he
Right.
got it all in, we
Yeah.
sorted it all out, and from that
Yeah.
point on, it was all good. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. And then I'll say, so your next book, The Game of 10. So
Mhm.
who is that for?
It's for anyone who wants to learn how to play the game of life,
Yeah.
because there's two games until you realize there's only one. And you talk about imposter syndrome. We have
Mm.
our masks, our ego, all
Mm-hmm.
right? Or we have ego and spirit. Okay, they're diametrically opposed. There's good and there's evil.
Mm-hmm.
There's duality. So we're playing, oftentimes most people play the game often played, which is duality.
Mm-hmm.
So what I you learn through wisdom and through experience to don't play that game.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not good or bad, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's unconditional acceptance. It's unconditionally loving. And back to what you said about sometimes love says yes and sometimes love says no. There's a
Mm-hmm.
boundary. Sometimes love says stay, sometimes love says go. And
Mm-hmm.
so maintaining, and that doesn't mean putting up walls,
Mm-hmm.
it's setting healthy boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
This is a no.
Absolutely.
This is a no. You can,
Yeah.
I don't respond when you're angry. Okay?
Right.
I'm willing to talk with you when we can be calm, collected, and I'm willing to listen to you. But right now it's too charged. You know,
Mm-hmm.
let's give it some time and we'll
Mm-hmm.
talk later. So it's really setting boundaries and not, but oftentimes the game often played is you put up walls
Mm-hmm.
and no communication is going to go through them. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really the knowing between walls and healthy boundaries and
Mm-hmm.
communicating with the boundaries and through mutual respect for each other.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, I know I've referred a few people to you, and I know a couple of clients at least that speak very highly of your services. So I will include your website in the description. I'll include the link to buy your book in the description. And thank you for coming on.
Well, thank you very much, Becky. It's a pleasure, and we will see you tomorrow morning. It's a Becky Fest.
Our networking group tomorrow.
Network, yes, go BNI.
Yep,
And yeah, and if anyone wants to do a discovery call with me, I would offer my free book through ebook if they'd like, but certainly buy it online. Leave me a review, whatever
yep.
you say what's on your mind. All reviews are good reviews, and I can always learn for the next book too. But well, thank you again. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on.